The NFL draft makes its way to Dallas. It is exactly 1 month today when the Browns will be on the clock in Arlington. So what better day to have our draft primer, if you will. 5 things you need to know to get you through the 2018 NFL draft. We will start with number 5. And Teddy, I'll ask you this. With the exception of Saquon Barkley, who we regard as a can't miss, if you will, what other non-quarterback is a can't miss in your estimation?
Non-quarterback, not Saquon Barkley. I'll go with the guard position, and I'll go with Quentin Nelson, offensive guard out of Notre Dame. And just the emphasis of the offensive line has been just increased the last couple years in terms of the defensive tackle position on the other side of the ball. You're getting such athletes that are so quick and so fast. Think of Aaron Donald, think of Ndamukong Suh, think of Gerald McCoy. Somebody's going to have to take care of those guys. And it's the beeline to the quarterback right up the middle. This kid can also pass protect. I like this guard out of Notre Dame. Quentin Nelson would be my other can't miss prospect.
Your other can't miss, Lamar Jackson, a quarterback, an intriguing prospect. Will go to Mort in Orlando at the owners' meetings. Mort, do you hear he's a first-round talent?
Well, he's kind of become the forgotten prospect behind the other 4 quarterbacks everybody's been discussing. He has his pro day on Thursday at Louisville. It's going to be well attended by most teams. This is a guy who has, based off his film, has first-round grades from a handful of teams. But some of those teams had concerns at the Combine because he just didn't throw well at the Combine. But furthermore, his interview sessions in those short 15-minute windows didn't go as well as he probably wanted. So a lot of teams are starting to grind and do a lot of work. And yes, some teams have a first-round grade on him, but it's not a lock that he goes in the first round. And Thursday, I think, is the beginning of a very important 3-week process for him.
His pro day coming up later in the week. Field, we talked about the Browns on the clock at 1. They'll be followed by the New York Giants. Let's talk about what they may do at 2.
Well, Wendy, I'll just say what the league-wide belief is, which is still that the quarterback position is very much in play for the New York Giants at pick number 2 overall. And, of course, with Eli Manning at the prime, sort of the twilight of his career, the question is, would you take a quarterback with Eli still in the mix? And beyond that, let's just say your preferred quarterback is Sam Darnold. Are you happy taking one of these other quarterbacks, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, or perhaps Baker Mayfield with slot number 2? And don't also overlook the idea of taking Bradley Chubb, the NC State defensive end. I know Tim called one of his games this year, a very highly regarded prospect, and Dave Gettleman, the Giants general manager, does love those big guys on both sides of the ball. And of course, JPP is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
He sure is, and you can see the top 4, the top 5 in the draft order. Tim, we called Saquon Barkley a can't miss, if you will, earlier when we talked to Teddy. Is it even conceivable that he fall out of the top 4?
You know, I really don't think so. I mean, if you look at, one, just the overall feeling on Saquon Barkley, and the overall feeling is many people believe that he is the best football player in this draft. And so then when you look at the position he plays, you know, probably the ability to affect an offense as much as anyone. You think about, you know, Todd Gurley, who got a late start because of an injury, but his rookie year, the impact Ezekiel Elliott had. And so when you look at that, that's what you're kind of hoping for with Saquon Barkley. And you look at the Browns picking twice in the top 4. I mean, to me, it wouldn't make a ton of sense.
Can't mess that up, can you?
You knew what the reaction was going to be. You knew what the reaction was going to be.
It's more difficult than sometimes to mess it up. And again, you look at Cleveland 1 and 4. So if we're talking draft prime or Adam Schefter, we certainly have to talk about who the Browns, or which quarterback, I should say, the Browns may take at number 1.
Well, Wendy, we're about 1 month from the draft right now, and the process still is fluid and still can change, and the evaluations are ongoing. There's a lot of work for Browns general manager John Dorsey to still do here. I think today, 1 month out of the draft, I think Sam Darnold is the favorite to be the number 1 overall pick, but it is not locked up right now. It is not set in stone, and the Browns still are going through their options. Look, we fully expect that it's going to be a quarterback at 1. I think Darnold is the favorite. I think Josh Allen is in the conversation at this point in time. The Browns have that number 4 pick as well to consider at this point in time. But again, if they're sitting right where they are, we expect the pick to be a quarterback, and I'd say Sam Darnold right now is the favorite, Wendy.
Shefty, thank you. The NFL Draft, of course, it is on ESPN for the 39th straight year. It will come to you from Jerry World in Arlington, Texas. 1 month from today, we get underway on April 26th. Trey Wingo will host alongside Mel Kiper, Louis Riddick, and Kirk Herbstreit joining for the first time. Could be plenty of surprises with this outstanding class, and all 3 days are also streaming live on the ESPN app. Ahead on NFL Live, Patriots owner Robert Kraft talks about his head coach Bill Belichick and how long his Hall of Fame quarterback may play.